We can start now.
Good morning to one and all gathered here. A very warm welcome to our revered HOD, our respected faculty members, and my fellow students. On behalf of the institution's Innovation Council, I cordially welcome you all to the webinar on innovation and entrepreneurship. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Hari PK, co-founder of Big Fox Branding and Technology. He is a first generation entrepreneur, hailed from Trichy, co founded Big Fox Branding and Technology, built it from scratch, and scaled it to one of the leading full service companies in South India, and has worked with over 100 plus brands like The Hindu, Times of India, Arvind, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Anjapur Group, etc., over 11 plus sectors across the world, and his company has won 4 national awards. Also, he has co-founded Brand Talks Global. Brand Talks is a TED for brand stories through which they bring out exclusive brand stories from seasoned entrepreneurs and has hosted 10 editions to date. He is a pioneer in building cloud-based tech products. I humbly request Dr. Amuda, the HOD of CSBS department, to say a few words.
Good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of our college, Institution Innovation Council, on behalf of our department, Computer Science and Business Systems, I welcome our guest today, who is going to be with us for 1 hour, Hari PK, who is well known for his entrepreneurship. I hope his session will make you all to get a few thoughts about how we have to be an entrepreneur, because nowadays youngsters, you are so enthused to be an entrepreneur. I hope his words will make you to get knowledge, and you will be making your path to be a right entrepreneur. I also welcome all the other faculty members from all departments. I also welcome my dear students who have joined with us to get the knowledge about the entrepreneurship and how you are going to have your innovative ideas to be converted to a business. All that will be cleared, I guess, after this session. And to say a few words about our department is started in the year 2020-2021, and our department is a special department where our curriculum is being designed by professors from IITs, NITs, and this BTech Computer Science and Business Systems is the program which is being initiated by Tata Consultancy Services. They have got the approval from AICTE by getting the curriculum being designed. And so we are proud that only 55 institutions have got signed MOU with the Tata Consultancy Services to start this BTech program. And we are proud to say that we are one among that 55 institutions who have signed MOU. So as a part of that MOU signing process, we have thought that they will be conducting faculty development programs, and our faculty members will be attending all those programs, and we will be delivering the sessions to our students. And one more thing, we are arranging guest lectures from the professors from Indian Statistical Institute regularly. One in a semester has been organized for our students. It's so special for our department, and we are proud to say that we have got the second batch in this academic year. So we are growing in this way. So with this, we'll start our session. So on behalf of our department, Institution Innovation Council, I will once again welcome Hari PK sir. Welcome to our session today. I also welcome all faculty members.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the nice introduction. Thanks a lot, Nikita, and thanks a lot, professors and principal of RMT Engineering College. Okay.
Yes.
So quickly, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, I welcome all the students. Now, over to Nikita.
Now, I invite Mr. Hari PK to enlighten us.
Sure. Thank you, Nikita. So I'll directly jump onto the session. Okay. So yeah. So you can able to see the slide, right? If I'm not wrong. Yeah. Okay. So okay, so how the session is going to be is very simple. Okay, guys, before getting on to the session, I'll say I am a past alumni of RMK Engineering College. So I know very well about our institution, not as a group of institution, I know how it works and everything. So you guys does not have any kind of hesitation, like say for example other speakers or the guest lecturers coming to the session and you have the hesitation to speak. So don't see me as a external speaker. Consider me as your super senior. Okay. So in that perspective, you guys can interact with the today's session. That's what even I expect from you guys. Why it's so na that creates a kind of an what to say bond between us, so that session go in much better way. So I want everybody to be interactive. It's not a one-way session again. Again, it's an online, but I'll try to be a two-way session. Here and there, I'll put forth few basic questions. There is no right or wrong. All I want you guys to unmute this speaker and give your answers, or type in the chat and you can give the answers. So that would be great. So with that basic guideline, I'll get on to the session. The topic what they have given for today's session was innovation and entrepreneurship. Okay. So here is the first question. I understand most of the guys may or may not be introduced to the complete cycle of entrepreneurship, or you guys might be heard about innovation and entrepreneurship very frequently in the past few years. But I want to hear from you guys, what is entrepreneurship and what is innovation? Anything you can pitch in across. Or I just want to hear from you guys. According to you, what is entrepreneurship and what is innovation? So let's start with an interactive. Let's start with an interaction, guys. Yeah, some or other guys, I need some answers. What is entrepreneurship? What is innovation? Even you guys Google and say, or you can tell it directly. Both are fine. Any answers? As I mentioned, there is no right or wrong, guys. You can pitch in. What is entrepreneurship? What is innovation? Again, the sole objective of this session is not for somebody who want to start and run a business. It's not like that. Personally, I believe entrepreneurship skill set is something each and every person should master those skills over a period. That will be helpful for you guys even when you work within the organization, or even if you want to start a company immediate after the graduation, or if even 10 to 15 years after your work experience. So this is something very important. So I want you guys to be interactive so that we can have a lot of interesting stuff to be discussed. So Kesavartini is. Yeah. I'm just looking into that. So Kesavartini have posted potential to run a business. Okay. Rajashri creating a new ideas. So any more interesting answer? Yeah, that is good. Thank you, Kesavartini and Rajashri. What is entrepreneurship and innovation? So innovation is no more answers. Okay, so who is a business owners? At least I need that answer. Who they call as a business owners? Sri Lanka innovation change made to an existing product. Okay. So innovation is either it can be what to say, discovering a completely a new product or a service. Okay, it's completely starting from a discovery phase, which is not even available in this world. Okay, or it can be an extension of the existing innovation. Say for example, in this given world, not anybody and everybody can able to innovate each and everything, because in the present world most of the things are available. Okay, what and all is happening in this given world is there. It's just an evolution of an existing problem. Okay, say for example 15 years before, they might be figured out a solution for XYZ problem, but today it might be outdated. Okay, what the present entrepreneurs or a scientist will do, they will be re-innovating, or they will be finding a new way to solving the problem, because there might be a gap between the X stage before 20 years and today, and they will be rightly mentioned by Sri Lanka, change made to the even the existing product is also called as an innovation. And entrepreneurship is something taking that specific idea or a product and make that as a sellable business, okay, into the market. Or entrepreneur is somebody who find the problem in the market okay, identify the problem in the market and find the relevant solution, and he or she can able to package that idea or solution into a profitable business. That is a simple definition what you can have for entrepreneurship. This entrepreneurship as a word is very popular for past 8 to 10 years, though it is existing for very quite some time in the Indian landscape. For that, I'll get on to the entrepreneurial landscape in India. Say for example, India as a country, you guys need to understand always, India as a country is an entrepreneurial country basically, not from today or tomorrow. I'm speaking about some 100, 150 years or ages across. India is an entrepreneurial nation. Okay. India as a country has a largest SME business, small and medium business. India has a largest SME businesses, and that feed in most of our economy. And I can say SME is the backbone of Indian economy. Maybe that can be an unorganized sector. A lot of unorganized SMEs are there in Indian market, but this landscape is growing very rapidly in our country into more structured way. When I say structured way, people taking entrepreneurial as their career, or people are starting the company, the numbers got increased over a period. Say for example, in 2012, I'm speaking about 2012, first time in RMK Engineering College, we founded entrepreneurship cell. Okay. When we founded entrepreneurship cell, when we founded, say I'm the one who initiated on behalf of college. When I launched the entrepreneurship cell, came out and launched the entrepreneurship cell, that entrepreneurship altogether or e-cell altogether is completely new for our institution. Okay. And the purpose is met over the 8 years. But today, if you see, each and every college speak about entrepreneurship, every college speak about startups, every college speak about business. I can able to see within 8 years how every college have evolved, even including our institution have evolved a lot in terms of entrepreneurship. They are inviting a lot of guest speakers, lot of activities happen within our group of institution, and they want to bring out a lot of entrepreneurs out of the institution, because the entrepreneurs are the only solution of the future world, if you ask me, because there are a hell lot of problem available in this world. Say for example, the pandemic is one finest example. The world operates in completely different way pre-pandemic. Post-pandemic, the world is operating in completely other way. Okay, so there are a lot of solutions the world need. Okay, so that can be happen only through finding a solution for any kind of a problem, or a new innovation. And these are the only solution for us to drive future or accelerate very fast into the future world. So entrepreneurial is going very rapid in our country. As a country, it is well matured market for entrepreneurship. If you ask me, there are a lot of investors are there, a lot of entrepreneurs emerged. Even if you have seen last 1 month itself, last 2 months itself, 3 of our startup got listed in the listed as a public company. One is Freshworks, another one is Nykaa, and another one is Paytm. Very recently, there are 3 to 4 new startups are going to get listed in IPO. So it is growing very fast. And if you as a student, or even if you want to start after your post graduation, the market is well matured you to invite. Okay, so it is a right time if you ask me. But all you guys need to do is understand the entrepreneurship landscape or the environment. You guys need to be there in that ecosystem, so that you guys can build a very good company or a startup over a period. So one of the finest example, I think so most of the brands in the given list you guys might already know. An example, you guys know Cred, Meesho, you guys might have know Pharmeasy. So all these guys have become an billion-dollar company. When I say billion-dollar company, it's considered their valuation is worth 7,500 crores. Okay, so all these companies hit the billion-dollar. They called as a unicorn, billion-dollar valuation in past 9 months. I'm speaking about only in 9 months, all these company became billion-dollar company in our country. Okay, which is not the case before 3 years or 4 years. Okay, post COVID, they can able to raise lot of investments, and they can able to hit the billion-dollar valuation, which they called as a unicorn. Unicorn is one of the milestone any startups can able to achieve in their startup journey. Okay, becoming a billion-dollar company is not a joke, or it's not an easiest task. And these companies are achieved in the last 9 months, they became a billion-dollar company. And there are a lot of startups who are going to become a unicorn in the recent time. Why I given this showing these startups is, this is a fast pace how the startup ecosystem or entrepreneurial ecosystem is or evolving in our country. So before even getting or speak in depth about entrepreneurship and the ecosystem or anything, how to find a right idea? Let it be innovation, or let it be if you want to start a company or something. Idea matters a lot. That one idea will change the world, or one idea will make you $1 billion company, or one idea you can able to create a resonance in the entire globe. So how to find that one right idea? Say for example, in this group, how many of you guys are really interested in entrepreneurship? I just want some number in the chat. How many of you guys are really interested in entrepreneurship? Quickly feed in the chat. Or how many of you guys are interested in business? Okay. So how many of you guys interested to do business? Maybe post your college, or want to do some startup during the college days itself. I just want to hear from you guys. Just you guys put yes, I am interested or something in the chat. Because idea plays an first and foremost step in starting up or running a business or innovating anything. So how you can able to find that right idea which really entice you and make you big in the market. So I need some answers.
Students respond.
So no issues. I'll go ahead. Okay. So before even getting into how to find your idea, I'll just give a glimpse on. I understand most of you guys are new to entrepreneurship. I'll give the how the entire entrepreneurship ecosystem works. So the objective of this entire session, again, I'm telling you guys. I believe few guys might be already aware of the terminologies or the words what we use in the real ecosystem of entrepreneurship. So this session might be an opportunity for you guys to understand the new thing. I can say the new stuff what you guys are going to understand, or new thing what you guys are going to learn out of the today's session. So I want you guys to give an attention on the entire slide what I am going to put it across. This is how the entire entrepreneurship ecosystem works. These are the components involved in any kind of an startups, or if you want to start any business, or if you are innovated a new product or a service, and how actually the entire startup ecosystem works. It might be one of the slide deck for you guys to take it off. So in the entrepreneurship there are 4 different pillars. One is, the first and foremost, you need to have a right team, or they will call as a co-founders. Co-founder is somebody is nothing but, say for example, 3 to 4 guys, you are coming together and starting up a company. You guys are called as a co-founders, or you guys can be a single founder. Okay, the choice is yours. The first and foremost in starting up any business, or you need a team. So co-founder and team is very important. And second is the idea. So what is an idea you guys are going to work on? When I say idea, it's all about the solution, or what is a problem you identified in the market, and what is a solution you guys are going to derive for the specific problem, and how you are going to build a product or a service to solve that specific problem. And third is going to be your target audience. Say for example, you have an idea guys, okay, but one thumb rule in any business, or even I can say advertising or branding, you can't sell your product or service to everybody. Okay, even in this world, no company will sell their product to everybody. They will not say my customers is the entire world. or my customer is Indian, all the people in the country. They will not say that like that. So you guys need to find who is your audience. When I say audience, to whom actually you guys are going to sell the product. TG means target group, actually. That abbreviation is target group. So TG is a common word what we use for the customers. Okay, who is your target customer? That is very important. And which market you are going to sell. Either you are going to sell only in Tamil Nadu, or you are going to sell only in the metro cities like Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, or you are going to sell South India, or you are going to sell in few other countries. So what is that market you are going to sell? That is very important for you to identify. And fourth is a funding. Okay, so any idea you're going to develop, you require funds, okay, to build that idea, to market the idea, or build the product, or build the technology product, or hire a team. Everything you need a funding. So these are the four major components involved around the basics of entrepreneurship. From there, how we can expand it, let us see. And next, foremost important is, as I already mentioned, co-founder and a team. Coming to co-founder and a team, how you find your co-founders? Okay, say for example, you guys are studying in a college. Okay, it does not mean that you guys can pick some of your closest friend as your co-founder. That is well and good. Okay, going for a movie, or going for an outing, it's well and good to pick your closest friend. But coming to a business, it should be always complementary. Say for example, if you are good at speech, or if you are good at speaking to public, your co-founder might be good at coding, or your one more co-founder could be good at doing documentation work, or doing operations. Okay, so you guys need to complement each other. Okay, both the guys should not have the same skill set. You guys can share a common skill set, but both the guys should not be an identical. Then that might not be work for the business. So you guys need to be complementary, so that the team can work hand on hand. Let it be 2 members or 3 members. I would suggest a maximum co-founder team can be 3 to 4. Beyond 4, it's not good to have. Maximum 3 you can have. 3 is always good. 4 is a max. But beyond 4, there will be a confusion or chaos in general. So the first and foremost is co-founders, and you need to choose the co-founders who have the complementary skills. Okay, very simple. And second is going to be, who is your primary target audience? Based on the idea, you need to define who is your primary target audience. So when I say primary target audience, you need to tell. Say for example, so recently we built a product called smbcard.com, which is an e-commerce portal. When I say e-commerce portal, even a small business owners with zero technical knowledge, a lot of small business owners are there in the market, who have a product, they sell the product. And I aware you have a lot of women entrepreneurs. During this COVID time, they are started selling homemade products in the Instagram or WhatsApp, or they are selling a lot of cloth related stuff in Instagram and WhatsApp. Like that, lot of SMEs, entrepreneurs have emerged in the market. Okay, so when you see the real problem, what we found in the market is, during the COVID time, it was complete lockdown. Okay, so out of lockdown, everybody forced to shut their shops, shut their business. Okay, but consider if these small owners have an opportunity to have their online store on their own. Okay, it is easy for them to sell their products still, because the online route was opened at that time. And majority of online player, I'm saying including Amazon, Flipkart, or even a kind of a departmental store who had their online store, were able to run their business successfully during the COVID time, and they grown rapidly also. So we thought, why not we can digitize these small and medium business. When we want to digitize the small and medium business during the COVID times, the first and foremost is they need to have their own online store to list their product first. If a small business owner want to build their own e-commerce store, it will cost a bomb for them. I am saying at least minimum 40,000 to 6 lakhs it will cost for anybody to build a e-commerce store in the given market. Okay, and most of them are not technical guys. They know to use WhatsApp, Instagram, or Gmail maximum, I'm saying, or they might be knowing even to use Word document, Excel sheet, all those stuff. But building an e-commerce portal, even there are self-to e-commerce portal like Shopify is there, Wix is there. But still, to explore those options also, they need to understand the system very well, and it's not that easy for a normal small business owners to do that. So we thought, why not we can build a system, automated system, where if they sign up, they will get an e-commerce store on their own brand name. Okay, so with that core objective, we build the entire technical system. Okay, and it was very successful. We can able to onboard a handful of small and medium business owners and help them to sell their product in online on their domain name, and they got a luxury of even not thinking about the further lockdown or how it is going to work. So our core objective is a small business owners. In the small business owner also, we handpick 3 to 4 segments. Number one, we handpick the women entrepreneurs who sells products in the Instagram. Okay, that is number one. And number two, the entrepreneurs who have the offline stores in 2 to 3 different category, like home decor people, and we have people who sell products related to kids product, kids learning products. Like that, we picked specific category out of the small business owners, and we can able to onboard them successfully and help them to grow their business. So that is called as a primary TG. So if you have an idea or if you found a problem in the market, so what is a solution? You have a solution, but to whom actually you are going to sell, that matters a lot. And secondary TG, okay, primary target audience you always have. What is a secondary TG? Okay, XYZ target group I have. So who is going to be ABC next I'm going to sell? That is also very important. And pilot market. So once you build the market, once you build the product, you always need to test run the product or a service. Okay, so even when we built SMBcart.com, initially we acquired customer only to do a pilot run. Okay, we didn't hit the market directly and sell to everybody in the market. Everybody say to our target audience, we didn't target everybody and sold the product. We just picked some 20 users and gave the product, asked them to use it for 2 months. Okay, understood the feedback. Okay, and re-implement inside the product, made sure the product is stable and good, and then went for the beta. Okay, and once the pilot market is done, you need to define what are the phases you are going to launch. Say for example, consider we take WhatsApp as an example. Initially when WhatsApp launched, what they had, only WhatsApp had the messaging service. Okay, only you can do messaging, consider, and where you can share the photos, send the message. It works like a similar SMS. Consider that's a beta version of that's a pilot version of alpha, or WhatsApp, or a beta version of WhatsApp. And second, WhatsApp added a audio call into the product. Okay, that is the phase 1. Consider again they added video call into the product. That is consider a phase 2. And again they added UPI. Now UPI is active for very long, but now they started promoting. UPI is phase 4. So every product has the multiple phases depending on the market requirements. So you guys need to have a clear product roadmap. Okay, so this is my product and how I am going to build the product, what are the features I am going to add in the product, and how it is going to benefit the customers, and how I am going to make money out of it. Okay, even before start building your product, I am saying what and all I am speaking is, even before you start building your product, you guys need to do these studies in detail. In detail, you guys need to do the study and document it properly, either as a presentation format or as a Word format. Okay, and you guys need to figure out the revenue stream. Okay, so these and all phases I am releasing the product, how I am going to make the revenue out of the product. Say coming back to our SMBcart.com, we make revenue through subscription model. Small business owners will subscribe for our product for yearly basis. Okay, yearly they will pay X amount of money. Okay, and they pay it for domain. These are the 2 revenue stream what we have. And is there is any other revenue stream we have? Say for example, we bring in third party vendors into our system. Okay, when they get customers from us, they will pay commission to us. So like that, you guys need to have a multiple revenue streams. Everything should be there on the papers. Okay, so consider this as a purely a research and analysis phase, where you guys do a complete research and analysis and document it depending on your idea or a solution what you have for the market, and convert entire research and analysis into the business plan. Okay, business plan is a structured format. Okay, maybe which we can't cover at this in this session itself, but B plan is a structured format is available. Maybe in further session, or if some other speakers are coming, you can have a standalone session only on the business plan. And once the business plan is ready, then you guys should go for the market validation, because market validation is very important. You guys can't have an idea and build a product and launch the product. You guys will incur a loss. Without market validation, never ever think of even getting into any business. So build a business plan, do the market validation. How you guys can able to do the market validation is very simple. Okay, go into the market, speak with the customers, and express your ideas and get their feedback. That is number one. And number two, meet the industry experts. Say for example, other people who are already into the similar business line or already into the specific industry. Go and present your business plan, get their opinion, or go and meet the investors. If you know any investors in your network, go and meet those investors. Okay, and get their opinion. So based on your opinion, you will find their opinion. You guys will easily find whether this idea will work or not, and also you get to understand whether already any other business are running in the similar idea or not, and how they are performing in the market. So this market validation is very important. Okay, so when you guys are once the done with the market validation, now you guys need to build the idea into a product or a service. When you guys are going to build that idea into a product or a service, number one, you guys need a funding. Okay, funding is very important. Either you guys need to fund on your own, or you guys need to raise a bank loan, or you guys need to get money from the family and friends, or there are three other options. In the slide you can see bootstrapped is nothing but you guys are funding yourself and growing your product or a service is called as a bootstrap. Okay, there are a lot of bootstrap company in the market. Majority of the companies will raise funds. Okay, but say for example, Zogo as a company is a bootstrap company. Zogo is one of the world's finest case study of company which can able to bootstrap and grow to $1 billion company. Okay, Zogo never raised external funds. Okay, they built the product, they sold the product to the customer. Through that money, they scaled it to the one of the world's largest product company. So you guys need to decide, okay, I want to be a bootstrap company. So you can fund yourself, build your product, go to the customer, sell the product, get the money, refund it into your company and grow your company. So that is called as a bootstrap. It's a common terminology what is used in the startup ecosystem. And next comes the accelerator and incubators. Though this is a common term. Say for example, most of the engineering colleges today have the incubators. I believe so RMD also should have, but RMK has an incubator. Like multiple institutions have the incubators, either government funded incubator are there. And again, there are a lot of private accelerators are there. What these accelerators or an incubator will do, they will evaluate your product, or they will evaluate your business plan. Okay, and based on evaluating your business plan and your team, they will take you for XYZ amount of a program. Say 6 months program they will take, or 3 months program they will take, where a lot of mentors will be there for you to guide. During the 3 months you guys will be building the entire product or a service. Okay, and launch the product, and you have the mentorship from multiple people from the industry. There are a lot of they have a lot of mentors on board who will be helping you to understand how the entire entrepreneurship ecosystem works, how to build a product. All kind of support the entire incubator will give, including space, including funding. I'm saying they'll be giving you a seed fund. Say for example, I think so college institution incubators are funding close to 6 lakhs if I'm not wrong. Okay, whereas the private accelerator or incubator will invest close to 25 lakhs for very good idea or a product or a service. Mostly these guys will any incubators will look for an product based startup only. Service are less invested. Okay, so incubator or accelerator, get your business plan done, go and pitch with an incubator and accelerator and raise your funds. Guys, as I mentioned, in the today's world, money is easily available. Okay, to raise the investment. But all we need to have is a very good business plan or very good idea for us, so that we can scale it in a better way. Okay, so either you can bootstrap or accelerator, go to the accelerator or incubator, or you can go with your family and friend, that is called as FNF, family and friends, and raise the money to build your pilot model. Okay, or bank. So consider you guys have raised money from your college incubator itself. Consider college incubator have funded you 3 lakhs or 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs. With that money, you guys can able to build a pilot product. Pilot product is called as a MVP. MVP is nothing but minimum viable product. Okay, so you have the ideas on the paper. Now you guys need to build that as a product or a service. So build that product with that money. Okay, and then test the product. Okay, so once the MVP is ready and you are in pilot, and you acquired few customers to test the product well and good, and you really think this MVP is going to work, and you are going to acquire a lot of customers in the market, and you are going to build your business, the next foremost step is going to have your core team. Consider initially only two members are there. You and your co-founder is there. Okay, both are not enough. Okay, when you want to build a larger product version, let it be any kind of a product, larger product version, you guys need your own team on place. That's when you guys need to look into your core team and their skills. So next level of team, what you are going to recruit or what you are going to have them on board. Consider I need another 4 members into my team. One for development, one for testing, or one for database management, or one for marketing and sales. Consider 4 guys you need to have, and you guys need to evaluate what and all the skills that each and every guy should possess. So based on the objective, you guys need to recruit that team. Okay, and you guys at this point, you guys are ready with the minimum viable product and ready to become a company altogether. So at that point, you guys need to decide what kind of company you guys need to register. Shall I register as a partnership company, or if you are a single founder, shall I register only proprietor, or go with LLP, or go with private limited? It's always good to register a private limited company, because private limited company is called as a real company in our country. Okay, rest and all is called as just a firm. Let it be proprietor, partnership, or LLP is called as a firm. But on day-to-day basis, we used to call them as a company. But private limited is a proper company, and government will always, any funding you go, they will always look for a private limited company. And registering a company is a very simple process. It's not like 10 years before. 10 years before, it's a hectic process. But today, starting a company or registering a company is very easiest process. In the matter of 10 to 15,000, you can able to register a private limited company and get your GST on place. And as a co-founder, you guys need to be very clear on the equity. What is equity? Equity is nothing but how much percentage each of you guys hold within the company. Okay, say for example, you guys are 2 co-founders. Okay, you can directly split. Okay, 50-50 is my equity. Consider you guys have a 3 co-founders. It can be 33, 33, 33, or 35, 35, 35, and you can have rest for your employees. Employees, you can share the equity. You are hiring the core team member, right? If the core team member is really valuable, you can give 1% for one guy, 2% for another guy, 5% for one more guy, depending on on their skills and the importance and the contribution what they are going to make within the organization. So you guys need to be very clear on the equity, because this equity matters a lot in the longer run. I'll say why. When you are going for the funding process, okay, your company is valued, and this equity value towards the currency will increase. Say for example, consider if last week Paytm have went for IPO, right? Consider when Paytm started, if one of the team member is holding just 1% equity, I can say today that 1% equity might be worth close to 100 crore rupees. You got a point. That's the power of equity. It's not about the 1%. Even 1% over a period will become 100 crores or 150 crores or 200 crores, depending on the company valuation. Okay. So this equity understanding should be have clearly within the co-founders. And once the co-founder have the clear understanding about the equities, and they can able to assign the small percentage of shares for the rest of the team members, so that they can feel ownership. They can feel that they are also a part of the company, and they will contribute for the company's growth. So that is very important. So consider you guys have done all these. You have recruited the core team members, registered a company, and everything. Okay, and you guys need to fix your team culture. Team culture is very important. Okay, because a company success drives on the team culture. Say for example, in our organization, we follow a culture called do it yourself and be a leader. Okay, because personally I value leadership skills a lot, and I believe everybody is born to become a leader. Okay, leaders are not born. Everybody is born to become a leader. It's all about people should acquire those skill set over a period. So in our organization, we created an ecosystem for everybody to groom themselves as a better leader, or have the leadership mindset. Leadership is not about somebody who is commanding 1,000 people or 2,000 people, guys. It's all about the mindset. Okay, leadership mindset helps them to grow better, helps the company to scale better. So we created an ecosystem where every single employees can able to groom themselves as a better leader. So we give them an opportunity for them to learn, explore their ideas, implement their ideas. Okay, present the ideas. Okay, so acquire new knowledge. So we give lot of, we have a framework for grooming a person as a leader itself over a period. So we follow that culture. Like the different organization follow different culture, and this culture matters a lot, because this culture creates a strong bonding among your team members, help them to work better, increase your productivity, and scale the company to a larger company. So you guys need to very clear on the team culture, and team culture is not a rocket science. You guys can refer to multiple team culture, read lot of article about the team culture, and depending on your co-founding team mindset, you guys can frame your own team culture. Okay, so consider now MVP is ready, you registered a company and everything is done. Now you guys need to launch your beta version into the market. Okay, so you build the beta and you want to get into the market for, and you need the money. Consider you guys need the money again, investment for marketing, sales, and hiring a new team member. Okay, you want to invest on the infrastructure of the product, say servers, you need to invest on the cloud servers. So you guys always go for the market and raise a seed fund. Okay, that is called as a seed fund. Seed fund is nothing but there are a lot of investors, others seed or angel I can call. Okay, seed fund is minimum 25 to 50 lakhs people will invest in the market. When I say investors, it's not somebody who have money, guys. Okay, in the startup ecosystem or a professional business world, investors are somebody who, I am not referring to the person who is just having money. Okay, example, my uncle is having some 100 crores of money. Okay, and I will not call him as a professional investor. Of course he can invest the money, but when I speak about the professional investors, they know the market very well, they know the business very well. Okay, they invest in multiple startups. Okay, so you guys need to go and pitch to those peoples. Okay, so go and pitch to the professional investors or the angel investor. There are a lot of angel network in the country. Example, Chennai has a Chennai angel network, Mumbai has a Mumbai. In these network and all, only renowned people from the industry be a part, and they will pick these startups and invest the money. These guys these guys will not stop only just investing the money. They will groom you to a better startup. You got a point. Okay, say for example, for the best reference, you guys can see a movie called Social Network of Facebook. It's a very old movie. Okay, you can able to see in that movie, say for example, Mark Zuckerberg as a guy. Okay, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg as a guy, he is not a great entrepreneur when he started a company. He is a groomed entrepreneur, if you ask me. Okay, he found that Facebook, it was successful within the colleges. Okay, he was identified by one of the mentor, and that guy groomed this guy to be a $1 billion company. He guided that guy perfectly. He invested in the company. He took that company to a different level altogether. Okay, so there the objective of these seed or angel guys to invest money into your company and make sure your company is going to a greater heights. And again, these guys will not expect the returns overnight. Say for example, how the unorganized investors will work. They will invest 1 crore of money and they will ask you interest on every month, or yearly based interest they will be asking. But any professional investor will not ask for investors. They believe, interest. They believe you and they invest on the idea. Their game is the long term game. Okay, I'll say how it works. Say consider you any one person is having one idea. Okay, and you guys want 10 lakhs investment into your company, and consider I am an investor, I invested 10 lakhs investment into any, say consider Sri Lanka is there, Sri Lanka company, I am investing 10 lakh rupees, and for 10% equity. Okay, I am taking 10% equity from Sri Lanka company and I am investing 10 lakhs rupee as a seed fund. Okay, so now the company is valued to 1 crore. It's a simple math. When I invest 10 lakhs for 10%, obviously the company should be 1 crore. Then only you can able to give me 10% for the 10 lakhs. By default, the company is valued at 1 crore rupee. So like that, on the different stages, company will investors will invest multiple funding. Okay, 1 crore rupee, $10 million, $100 million, $150 billion, $500 million. So they will invest this much amount of money inside and they will pick the equity out of it and they will value the company. So that's why Paytm is now valued for 10,000 crore or 15,000 crore is a valuation. Okay, it's not the revenue they are making. Revenue will be very lesser, but depending on the market size, depending on the market potential, customers what they have, they will value the company. Okay, so that's why every company they call their 100 crore company, 1000 crore company, or a $1 billion company, or $50 billion company. Apple is $2 trillion company. It's purely depending on the valuation. Okay, so this seed and angel investors will invest. Say seed, consider you will get maximum 50 lakhs. Angel investors will go until 2.5 crore, half a million. Consider at least 2.5 crore. Those guys will invest in an idea for XY amount of the equity, and you guys need to negotiate what equity you can give to the investors. Always investor want maximum equity from the company, and it's your capability or the capacity how you negotiate and give the lesser equity for the investors for the given amount. Okay, so consider beta is done. You guys have raised angel investors and now you want to scale the product. Okay, so beta is done. You have 1000 customers now, you are selling your and your product. People are using only in Tamil Nadu. Your product are used only within the Tamil Nadu. Now you want to scale it to Bangalore, Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Ahmedabad, like that. Other metros also you need to scale. Now you need money again for that. Okay, though you get revenue from the 1000 customers, that revenue is not enough for you to scale to 8 cities. Okay, in the startup ecosystem, faster you scale, the success rate is so high. Okay, because day in and day out, lot of companies, similar companies will get into the market, or they will replicate your idea, they will get into the market. Even everybody want to scale and grow. So always investors will look forward to invest more money into your company and make you scale faster. So what these angel investors will do, they will arrange a venture capitalist for you. Okay, so VC is called as a venture capitalist. Again, a venture capitalist also a professional institutional investor. We call them as an institutional investors. Okay, they will invest minimum $1 million. When I say minimum $1 million, minimum 7.5 crores. Lesser than 7.5 crores, these guys will not invest in any companies. Any VC will not invest lesser than 7.5 crores. From 7.5 crores till any amount they will invest. Let it be $500 million or $20 million or $40 million or $100 million. So depending on your requirement and depending on the scalability, these guys will invest and come to your board, come onto your company board. So this VC funding will have the multiple series. Okay, say for example, you have scaled the product and you can able to launch in 4 cities and you acquired 1 lakh users for your product. Again, you need money. Okay, you can raise the next round of funding. That consider they have A, B, C, D, just like alphabetic order. Consider in the VC series A you raised $1 million. In B you will be raising $10 billion. C you will be raising $100 million. D you can raise the $300 million. It's up to your choice and up to your company requirement. You can able to raise multiple funding. Okay, so with that VC funding you can able to scale like another Paytm or another Google or another Facebook or another Flipkart. So you see all the companies in the market, guys. What and all companies you guys admire? Let it be Flipkart, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Paytm, Nykaa, or Cred. All the companies are heavily funded companies. Okay, so this entire funding in the startup ecosystem is like betting on the horses. Okay, investors will bet on 10 companies and one company will be hugely successful and they will exit out of the company. So you guys will have a question how these investors will get their money back. 2 ways they will get their money back. Number one, say for example, I said about the valuation, right? Consider they invest X amount of the money and the company is valued. Say consider there are 2 different competition companies are there. Ola is there, Uber is there. Okay, for an example I am saying. Okay, over a period what they will be doing now, Ola will acquire Uber. Okay, for 1000 crore rupees. Okay, while they are acquiring 1000 crore rupees, all the investors will sell their stake and move out of the company. They might have invested only 10 crores inside Uber for an example, but while they are coming out of the company, they will be coming out of 100 crores of money. Okay, or this is one way through acquisition. They sell their company to the larger player in the market. Likewise, say for example, Flipkart acquired Myntra. Myntra is one of the domain competition, and they acquired Jabong. Okay, like that Flipkart have acquired multiple companies. Likewise, if you see Ola have acquired Taxi for sure, and they have acquired one more cab company. So whom and all competitors in the market, the investors will try to acquire those companies from the parent company. So that's the strategy they follow. And also the second question you guys will be having is why investors are funding heavily irrespective of loss. There are a lot of companies who make loss, okay, but still the companies will be keep pumping the money. You know the Cred app, right? What you have seen during the cricket matches. Cred app, even today they are a loss making company, and they are heavily loss making company. Okay, the core objective of these companies first to get into the market and acquire maximum users, okay, and kill all the small competitions. Okay, consider in the Ola case, when they came into market, they flooded with offers, okay, so that all the small taxi companies in across India is getting killed, and nobody is there in the business. Only these guys are monopoly in the specific domain. Okay, so that's their first and foremost objective. Once they reach that monopoly position, these guys will dictate their terms. You got a point. So that's the whole objective, so that every domain, say if you take a cab aggregator domain, only 2 to 3 players there will be in the market, not more than that. It will not have even 5 players. Only Ola will be there. Now Uber is there. These are the two largest player in that single cab aggregator section. They kill rest of all the players. Let it be Fast Track, let it be Bharati, what and all you names already know. Everybody is out of business, or they might be running a very small format of business where people are not even using that those services right now. So this is the entire objective. So this is how the entire entrepreneurship ecosystem will work, guys. You got a point. Okay, starting from the 4 pillars of co-founder, idea, TG and market to sell and funding, and how we expanded. This is how any company will grow in the market. Let it be Google, Facebook, Twitter, or Flipkart, Amazon, whatever company case study you go and read, they will have this slide only. Okay, this is a process they follow. Very simple. Even if you start a company, if you start and run any business in the near future, you guys also going through all these process. Okay, again, what I have given right now is the holistic perspective of the entire entrepreneurship ecosystem, or how startup works, but each and everything has its own attributes which we can drill down and understand in detail. Okay, so in this, anybody have any questions? Quickly I'll go with one more slide and close the session. Any questions you guys have?
Hari, you have said about that angel investors, because yesterday also we had a session, and she was also mentioning about angel investors. And one more
Okay.
point is our students are interested to start, because we also have this innovation cell is being actively doing. If our students
Okay.
want to start startup in the second year, how they can
Okay.
proceed? What is the
Okay.
initial
So
step? If they have an
okay.
idea, how do you have to proceed further?
Okay, so here is a question I have. So here is a process I have. It's an interesting process. It's a proprietary process what I have created, which help you to understand how to figure out the right idea. Okay, so consider if somebody want to become an entrepreneur, or you guys have that passion to become an entrepreneur. For you guys, anything you look into the market will look as a you guys will see as a better idea. Okay, and it will excite you guys to jump into that specific idea and start working into that. It's not a case. Okay, I'll say a lot of the students, even from the student perspective, you guys have the gray area. Say you guys will think that I know these stuffs, and market will be in completely different. You got a point. Most of the guys might not exposed to the actual market or actual business world. Okay, the idea what you see unique might be already existed 10 years before. You got a point. Okay, so it's always good to find that right idea, so that you guys will not waste the time on building on working the same old idea which somebody have started, experimented, and even that idea might not worked in the market. So how to find this right idea? I have a simple the love story. I want to share a simple love story through which you can able to understand this entire process. Okay, so so example, you guys are got into the college. Okay, so ma'am, it's no offense, it's just what to say, it's a comparative understanding. You got a point. It's already dealt in RMK in multiple times. You got a point. I think so. This model, no problem with our institution, so I can go ahead also. Okay. So look around time. So consider guys get into the college. Okay. So how many of you guys really d- go for dating? Okay. The first and foremost step in the dating is look around for people. Okay. If it is an interactive session, I will make it much much interactive on this area, but still I will go ahead. The first and foremost step, consider I want to date. I want to go for a dating in a real life. I'll say what I'll do. Okay, I'll look for girls or I'll look for women's who go well with me. Okay, so that's the first and foremost basic thing what I'll do. So that is also applicable for ideas also. Okay, as an entrepreneur, you have a passion. What do you guys will be doing? You guys will be always looking for an ideas. Okay, you see anything and everything, you will find a problem and you will think of an idea. Okay, this idea will work for this. You see some other thing, okay, this idea might work for me. So that's one kind of a phase anybody will go on even before getting into a dating. Okay, consider I'm looking for people, let it be a boy or a girl. You guys are looking for a girl or a boy. That is called as a look around phase, which is similar to a looking for an idea. And second is going to be, okay, so I and I'm going for a dating is something you will not go for just one people. Okay, you will go with multiple people. Okay, so that's a dating phase. Basically, first you look for ideas. Okay, and you will be working on multiple ideas, whether this will work or this will work or this will work. Okay, so that is called as an idea validation. Okay, so you date with a girl or a boy. What you will do, you will think whether this guy will smash for me or whether our characteristic go very well. Okay, whether this girl or a boy have a different boyfriend or a girlfriend. Okay, so what kind of place he is coming. Okay, so these are the basic questions you guys will be having yourself when you date a guy or a boy. It's a very simple. Okay, similar way, when you have an idea, when you think, okay, this is an idea I'm going to date. Okay, this is called as a dating phase. This is the idea you're going to date. You guys need to first validate the idea. Okay, whether this idea will work or not, whether this idea has a competition already in the market. Okay, so you guys need to understand the entire market. Okay, so once you have done this, you guys consider it worked better. Okay, you have the idea validation and consider there is no competition and the market is good for this idea. What is next you guys will be do after dating phase? You like the guy, hello, yeah, you like the guy or a girl, everything works between you well, and the next phase is going to, you guys are going to fall in love. Okay, so that's called as a love phase. Okay, so that's when you guys, again in the love phase, what actually you guys will be doing. Okay, you guys will be keep chatting for a longer time, travel with the specific guy. Okay, understand him much better. Okay, and again over there also you have a validation whether it will work till marriage or not, whether it will not work. You have a lot of problems within the respective person. Similar way, when you validated the idea, getting into the love phase, you guys need to do a complete market research again. Okay, still a detailed market research you guys need to do, create a business plan. Okay, then create a MVP, validate with the industry experts. Okay, that's how even a love phase will work. Consider during this love phase, lot of guys will get a breakup. Okay, that's well and good. Okay, it happens. Okay, it's always good to get breakup during a love rather than getting married and have a huge breakup. Okay, similarly it works with ideas also. Okay, when you are in a love phase, when you are doing market research, when you are building a business plan, validating with the industry as expert, over a point you get to understand whether this specific idea is going to work 100% or not. Okay, if you guys really felt this is not going to work, break that process, get back to your dating phase and find the different idea which you guys can work. Okay, consider in that case, if that idea has worked, that love phase has worked, what is the next step to love phase is very simple. You guys will be getting married. Okay, that's the next and foremost step what you can do from dating, love to marriage. And what you guys can do, okay, during the marriage phase is very simple. You guys will look for a good date, getting marriage registered. Okay, you need in money to get married. Okay, to have that function organized. Okay, so lot of process involved. Okay, you need to make sure both the families goes very well. So in similar way, during the marriage phase with respect to the companies, that's when you finalize your co-founders. Okay, he is my co-founder. Okay, I'm going to register as a private limited company. Okay, and how much money I'm going to raise, whether I'm going to raise through seed money or angel money, or I'm going to get money from friends and family. Okay, what kind of team I'm going to recruit. This is where actually you are going to do a real business, or this is where you are uh, going to start your own company. Okay, but as like everybody knows, the real problem starts after the marriage. You got a point. This is not the luxury phase. Let it be marriage or a business. Once you launch your startup, you are going to have a hell lot of problems, and it's how efficient or effective you guys are going to manage those things and make it a scalable or a successful startup. There are few cases even a marriage might not work. Okay, that is also well and good. Okay, when I say marriage, even the startup what you have launched might not work. That's well and good. In that case, you guys can go back to the looker and time. Okay, because entrepreneurship is about accepting the failures and going ahead. Okay, it's not about seeing the failures and just sitting at a corner and doing a different stuff and not starting up something. It's not like that. Okay, if that idea after even launching a company, if it does not work, well and good, break that company or close that company and start looking for a fresh idea, and again start dating with an idea, fall in love. Okay, validate it. Okay, and relaunch your business. So this is a simple process. This is actually a structured process, guys. I just compared with an example, but this is how an idea should get validated. If this is a process is followed, you guys will majority, I'm saying 80 to 85% your idea will not fail. Okay, when you can able to validate all these process effectively, your idea will not fail. So if you want to start doing something, first start looking for ideas. It's very important. If you have a very good idea, it's very good to have a belief this idea is good, but always get the idea validated. Okay, find the competition. Okay, understand what they are doing, understand the market. Okay, do extensive market research, build a proper business plan, then build an MVP or a pilot run. Pilot run is very important. Rather than building a huge product spending 6 months, that's not a wise idea. Build something very simple which your user can use and give a feedback, or industry experts can use, build a feedback on that. Okay, so once all the areas are tick and everything is perfect, you guys can get on to the actual launching a company. Okay, and make sure while you are launching a company, you have the co-founders you who have the complementary skills. And one of the important thing you guys need to understand during this process is how good products you guys build or product you have. Okay, if you fail in marketing that product, there is no use of building a world class product. Okay, marketing is very important in any startup. Okay, you guys as an entrepreneur or want to start a company, start building your marketing skills. Okay, that's not a rocket science. Again, that's a process you guys need to learn over a time. Okay, but that is very important. Okay, at least you need to have a co-founder who is good at marketing or good at making sure he sell the product in a better way. Okay, so that is very important. So with this process, you guys can able to validate your idea effectively and start working on the idea. Okay, in this, any questions anybody have? I like to address the question. Any questions, guys? Any questions on whatever I said?
I think they might have got an idea. Students, if you have any questions, you can ask us. Don't hesitate to ask.
Guys, what and all, as I mentioned in the beginning of the session, I tried to introduce a new kind of a jargon or new kind of an process or an approach for to you guys. I understand few things you guys might understood and few things you guys might not, but the objective is to unlock your gray area. Okay, with this session, consider you have a follow-up session from different speakers or somebody related to startup or business or innovation. You guys can able to easily understand, because consider most of the guys are first introduced to a few of the jargon in this given session. It might be helpful for you to have the follow-up session and you can understand in a much better way. And as as I used to tell this to RMK ESL guys, okay. So I'll say college days are very important, guys, okay. uh, I'll say why. I'll say why. It's not a kind of an advice or anything. I'll say how it helps you, help you guys to groom your entire career itself, I'll say, okay. In our institution majorly, most of our guys, you guys will focus on academics, study stuff, get good scores, that is well and good, okay. But college is a place where you guys can able to hone your other skills, which is very important for your career, okay. Beyond your technical skills or the theoretical skills or a domain specific skills, there are hell lot of other skills are there, okay, which is very important for your career, okay. In that case, okay, you guys need to start doing an experimental learning, okay. We are a strong believer of experimental learning. Experimental learning is something, okay, you guys try to do something, okay. Consider you have an idea, okay, you want to work on the idea, okay. It's good to work during the college days. I'll say why. Because you guys does not have any family pressure on you, okay, to earn and give for your family. Or number two, you guys have a lot of time beyond your college studying and all this stuff, okay. And you guys will have the support system on place. There are huge support system on the place. I'm not speaking about only about the staff, okay. Consider being a student, okay, if you can able to, you have the access to connect with any founders of any top companies, okay, through LinkedIn. I'm speaking about the LinkedIn. Get onto LinkedIn, you give a shot, speak with any founders. As a students, since you guys are a student, the world will ready to support you, okay. But when you move out of the college, they will see you guys as a completely different person. When you are in college, the world outside will ready to help you, because that's a mindset everybody will have. Say for example, you as a guy, consider some 5th or 6th standard or 10th standard or student are coming and asking you some or other help, you have a kind of a courtesy for within you to help those guys, because you learn something or you know something, you always want to share with those guys so that they can do something during that time. So that's a mindset everybody have in the outside market, okay. So it's possible only during the college days. So this experimental learning is something, it's very simple, guys, okay. Pick any projects, okay. You forget about the success of the project, okay, but start working on the project. I'm not speaking about startup or anything. You can pick anything of your choice, okay. Have a small team, or even you can individual also, you can work, or you can pick any of your friends also. Start working on that product idea, okay. Start building the idea. There is no right or wrong, okay. Start building the idea, okay. And get on to the experts like your staff, professors or the industry experts, and validate it. Try to build some MVP, okay. You majorly our institution have money for you, money to fund you guys. I can say, frankly say, our institution have the body which can fund for ideas, okay. I think so RMD also might have incubator. Otherwise they will fund through this IASC also, okay. It is possible. They will be funding, maximum you guys might be recurring, consider 25,000, 30,000 or 50,000, even a lakh. Our institution are capable to fund, okay. You guys can work on the idea and experiment the idea. Irrespective of the outcome, you fail 10 times, no issues. You build one idea, you fail. Third year you build one more idea, you fail. Fourth year you build one more idea, you guys fail, no issues. But the process is very important, guys, okay. While you're working on an idea, while you're working on that scratch to building something, you guys will be learning a lot of stuff which you guys never known in your life itself, okay. That experience will really give you a lot of edge when you're moving out of the college and getting into a larger career, or even when you start a company, okay. Consider you are repeating the same process after your college days, okay. At that time the scenario is completely different, okay. The world will expect you guys to take the financial burden of yours, not on others. I am speaking about yours. You need to fund for yourself, okay. And if you go and speak with, if you want to network with others and you want to go and speak with some industry expert, they always see you as a professional, okay, not as a student, okay. There is a difference when people see you as a professional and a student, okay. And you will not have that much time for you to sit and do all these experimentation, because you have a full-time job or doing something, you have other commitments. But this is a right time for you guys to work on something really fun. It will be really fun. If you ask me, if you start working on any kind of an idea, let it be mini project or anything, I am guarantee it will be really fun. When you are moving out of the college, you will really feel, you will be taking out a hell lot of learning out of this entire activity. Okay, so this one we do it through entrepreneurship cell in RMK. I think so here also the RMD also will be doing a lot of activity in the similar way, but this is a good time. For that, one thing you guys need to do is you guys need to come out of your comfort zone, guys. Okay, that is very important. It's not like sitting leisurely and enjoying the days. Enjoying days is good, guys. Okay, you can have fun with your friends and everything. This is also fun. Okay, once you start working something like this, it will be really fun, guys. I'll guarantee to that. Okay, so do that. Start doing that kind of an experimental learning. You guys will get a lot out of it. It will be unimaginable, guys. Okay, I guarantee for that. Yeah, sure. Thank you, ma'am. Any questions? We can go. Otherwise, we can close. Yeah.
If you have any questions related to this, you can put it in the chat box. You cannot unmute and ask.
Yeah.
So you have a good resource. You can ask any clarifications that you have.
So okay, guys, all I want is I want you guys to be a very good leaders actually. Okay, I didn't cover the leadership session today because it's just an hour. Okay, so one thing I want from every student, whomever I address, or I want to insist on this. Okay, I want everybody to have that leadership mindset. Okay, which can be groomed during the college days itself. When you start doing this experimental learning, as I mentioned, when you start working on something, slowly you guys will be honing your skills subconsciously, which you guys never know. Until otherwise you go and project it somewhere, it will be building subconsciously on the in a very good space. Okay, so the objective is I want everybody who attended today's session, okay, to be a leader, have the leadership mindset, and you guys should have an inspiring story to share with your fellow alumni or fellow students or to the society. Okay, that will enable lot other people to grow in a better way in their career or a life. Okay, so if you have any question, you guys can put it across. So all you guys can connect me in LinkedIn. I am available in LinkedIn at Hari Rogan is my ID in LinkedIn. Okay, and if you want to touch base with me in email also, always you guys can touch base with email. You have any ideas, you want some kind of an inputs or anything, I'm always there to support you guys. Just email me, I'll revert back and we can take a call whenever I am available. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to put it forward. Okay, that would be good to answer questions.
I think they'll be mailing you, I guess.
No issues, ma'am. No issues. Yeah.
Thanks, Nikita.
Nikita? Yes. So it's my great pleasure and honor to propose vote of thanks. I thank Almighty God for His blessings today. So I thank HOD ma'am for the blessed encouragement and support, cheering us in all aspects. And I would like to thank guest Mr. Hari Piki for gracing today's seminar with interesting and thought-provoking. And you have gave us a lot of information how to start a nation, how to be an aspiring on, and you also explained the entire ecosystem of the entrepreneurship. And you have insisted our students to become a leader. So it will be very helpful for us to explore their right ideas in a right way. Once again for a detailed. So I thank the faculty members for their presence. Thank you, students. I hope you got a very precise insight to move on with your ideas. Thank you, everyone. Once again for making it. Thank you.
Hari sir, thank you for
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, students. Thank you all. Thank you, Anita ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi.
Nikita, good ma. Thank you, da.
Thank you, Jaykumar sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Jaykumar sir, thank you, sir.
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am. Sri Lakshmi, ma'am. Thanks.